Picture this, you're about to send $500,000 to buy your dream property in Spain, and boom, you can lose up to $10,000 if you were to transfer this with your bank.
They don't tell you we're taking a 5% margin. They tell you it will be a $60 international wire fee. I'll just wire my money before closing. Big mistakes. Waiting last minute, huge mistake.
Their savings was around the $22,000.
We can lock into a rate of exchange for up to 2 years.
Say up to 10,000 euros and a 500K transfer.
Yes.
Sounds cool. If you're buying from the US, this is essential. Right guys, welcome back to the High Homes YouTube channel. Today we have a super special guest all the way from Florida, the US. She's flown over, Iva.Slavcheva.
Thanks for having me. Such a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Iva, just to give some context to the audience, we had a few chats with yourself and your colleague Kelly, and you've helped a few of our clients when it comes to currency exchange. So I thought it was important to, as our expert talk playlist grows, to invite, more experts on the channel to talk about these subjects that so many, home buyers might not be aware of. And currency exchange is one of those things.
For sure.
So I've got like a list of questions.
Bring it on.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So Iva, you work for Moneycorp, and you guys are based in the US. Could you give us just a quick brief of who Moneycorp is, what you guys do, and then I'll get into the technical questions.
For sure. We're currency specialists. We help clients buy and sell properties all around the globe. We help them move their money from point A to point B, give them much better rates of exchange than the banks, and really give them a tailored service. Currency is really the one thing I notice in real estate, international real estate transactions, that gets overlooked all the time. Clients don't think about it. They're worried about finding the property, getting a mortgage, lining up all the other ducks in a row, and they think, currency, I don't need that now. I'll just wire my money before closing. Big mistake, huge mistake. So we can help.
Okay, so when I want to, talk about currency exchange, if I want to know what the exchange rate is from dollar to euro, I'll just go to Google and I'll go, 200. If a client's buying a 500,000 property, I'll just go 500,000 euros to dollars. What is that today? What's that exchange rate? What do we call that?
You're looking at the interbank rate of exchange, or the live rate, which is great, but that's not giving the client a true cost. That's not a true comparison. Clients are looking at a euro price tag on a property. So they really need to be speaking with a currency specialist in order to determine the true dollar cost on what that will look like for them when the time comes to send the payment. Whether they use a bank, whether they use an international payment, there will be a margin, a commission, a fee. You can use whatever term you want, but someone's going to make money off the fact that they're exchanging currency. Moneycorp is much more transparent about it and significantly cheaper than a bank. So we're not only going to save them money, but educate them on this process, which I think is essential.
This is super interesting. So, essentially, obviously a money exchange company, you guys aren't banks, but you compete with banks, right? What you're trying to do is to offer a better exchange rate ultimately to, the end buyer or end consumer. How do you guys do this?
We make our money the same way a traditional bank does. We're just not as greedy. We take a much smaller margin and we make a much smaller profit per client trade, but we work on volume. We handle a lot of transactions daily, monthly, yearly, for corporations, for individuals. So that's how we can do that. We can pass on the savings to our clients because we purchase the currency at no cost, little cost, right? We can pass on the savings to our clients. The other difference is banks at the end of the day do not care what exchange rates the clients get. That's not their main point of business. This is just another transaction for them. And I think banks, US banks in particular, hope that clients won't ask, won't shop around. They'll blindly walk in, use the bank because they have their money and it feels like the natural thing to do, but it's not the smartest. They don't tell you we're taking a 5% margin. They tell you it will be a $60 international wire fee.
That's how they set it up, right? They set up, let's say, the way the bank essentially makes money on these transfers is by obviously making money on the exchange rate, and then they put a fee on top. That's how traditional banks, make their margins. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. There's a fee, which is the international wire fee, a flat fee, plus the margin. The margin is not clear, not disclosed, not discussed. And even when clients have pushed and asked the bank teller, what exchange rate am I getting? Your typical bank teller is not going to help you. They're not a currency specialist. They're looking at a screen, giving you the live rate and telling you to have a nice day. So it's massive savings to be had when not just comparing margins with Moneycorp, but timing. I think timing might be even more important than the savings on the margin on the exchange rate. If a client calls us the day before they're closing, I'll help you, I'll move the money, I'll save you a lot versus using the bank, but I can't control where the euro dollar rate is that day. It could be good, it could be bad, and the client's just gonna have to take it because they need to send the payment. If we connect with them 3 months before, now we have time to play with. So in those 3 months, our team can monitor the euro dollar rate and help pinpoint favorable moments. Now, if we are getting 1 cent better or 2 cents better on that exchange rate, the client is massively saving.
It makes a huge impact, you know, on the transaction. I mean, if you're when we today, you know, for the audience to have a bit more context, today we had a pulse session with the team where you know kindly sat down and explained to our team the benefits of using Moneycorp and currency exchange to the benefit or the advantage of our clients when buying property. Mm-hmm. And you had this example of a 765,000 euro apartment, which you got from our website, and said, guys, if one of your clients were buying this today and they went to their high street bank, in the US, they would be transferring this amount of dollars and getting this much euros. Mm-hmm. And then essentially, if they were buying with us, they would be getting this much in Spain. And their savings was around the $22,000.
Correct.
And this is no small amount.
No.
Like, I've been in property my entire life, and that could pretty much cover closing costs.
Absolutely.
Purchase costs. It can cover furniture. And I think like nowadays clients want to take full advantage of all the tools that they have at their advantage. No?
As they should. And when we encourage clients to make a comparison, because I love it when they have this wow moment. I tell them it's going to save them money, but when they actually see apples to apples comparison, they're usually mind blown. And the typical response is, I wish I knew about you a year ago when I did XYZ, or I never knew you existed. That's the typical responses that we get from clients. So I think it's wonderful that you're going to be introducing that and talking about this with your clients, because it's a massive, massive benefit.
So Iva, I've got a few more questions for you, but before we get into those questions, I'm just going to sort of address the audience and let them know that in the comment or in the description of this video, we're going to leave your contact details. So anyone that might be interested in currency exchange, because you guys don't only work in Spain, you work
right.
all over Europe. Yeah. They can reach out to you.
For sure.
And have any questions?
Any questions, thoughts, comments. We love to have a chat with clients. I want to learn what you're hoping to achieve and how can we help you get there. So absolutely.
What would you say, Iva, are the top mistakes that you see, people making when they're transferring abroad? When they're exchanging currencies? What are these mistakes? What do you see?
It's a long list. I've been doing it for 12 years, but I would say the big one is waiting last minute. Huge mistake. Also, just not knowing that you can be proactive. We can buy and hold some euros for the clients. You can take advantage of timing the market. I think what I see typical buyers do is they go, I don't even have the property lined up yet, or I haven't visited yet. No point in even thinking about this. And they could be missing out on a good exchange rate, on a good moment in the market, just because they don't know how to do this, how to approach it. So not being connected with the right people, not shopping around, not asking the right questions. So those are typical big ones. Origin of funds could be one to talk about. I see clients making a mistake when purchasing in Europe, where they'll transfer funds from a business account, a trust account, an investment account. That could cause an issue with the receiving end. So we need to set them up for success, make sure origin of funds is coming from a personal account and flowing through nicely and correctly from a compliance perspective.
That's something that's huge in Spain. Like in the last few years, what we call PBC, which is Prevención de Blanqueo de Capitales, which is just purely anti-money laundering acts which are in place or policies by developers. It's so important to track all the origin of the funds and be able to have a clear sort of a clear track of where they come from, the provenance. So that's paramount, especially if you're buying in Spain.
Yes, that's something we discuss with clients during the introductory phone call. We want to set them up for success, and a lot of the time the clients don't know what questions to ask. So we're proactive in really taking them by the hand and helping them get to that finish line efficiently.
So you touched on something just now, which you mentioned to the team earlier, which was, don't sort of transfer or don't come to a currency exchange at the moment you need sort of the transfer. Of course, you should, but the more time.
Don't be reactive.
Exactly. Don't be reactive.
Proactive.
Exactly. Don't be reactive. Be proactive. And I like that. And you talked about something that was really interesting. It's about locking in rates.
Yes.
And that blew my mind. How you guys are able to lock in rates months in advance for some clients with a specific down payment. Can you walk us through how that works and how people can benefit from it?
For sure. So we can lock into a rate of exchange for up to 2 years. The reality is most of our clients choose about a 6-month mark or 7-month mark when they have a closing in the near future, and they don't want to wait and see what the market does. They want a peace of mind. It's a set it and forget it. We do have clients who are looking into new build developments, and they take advantage of the longer term lock-in because the payments on a new build could be really, really spread out. And a client really shouldn't be subject to currency fluctuation. That could make a big difference. That could make a good investment turn into a bad investment really quickly. So predictability, peace of mind is what a forward contract offers. We only ask for 10% deposit. Moneycorp will go ahead and purchase the total amount of euros at the time of booking. But funds aren't sitting in a Moneycorp account for 6 months or 1 year. The client's funds are sitting in your savings accounts, investment accounts, earning you money for longer. Meanwhile, your rate is locked in. I think it's...
Okay, so I want to transfer $600,000 to Spain, right? My only down payment would be 60K. And then I've got 6 months to transfer the balance, and I've just locked in a rate.
Correct. Yep. We
So-
buy the euros for you right then and there. You
That's-
have a peace of mind.
That's fantastic. Like something that we've seen is like, what mostly affects currency exchange are, headlines and political moves and
Everything.
everything, exactly.
Interest rates,
Everything.
tariffs, yes, everything.
So it's a great way of hedging against, different fluctuations by going, okay, I know that I'm going to be buying a property in Europe, in Spain, anywhere in the world. I just need to commit to 10% down, right? And then, obviously we've locked in a rate. That's a fantastic service.
Even if you're not certain of the exact amount you'll need, you can ballpark it. Maybe you want to lock it in for half of the amount and then wait to see what the market does and book the rest later. But it's better to be half protected than not protected at all. I think it's a fantastic tool, and people should really, really consider it if they're long-term thinking of making that European purchase.
Okay, Iva, so walk us through like the steps I would need to take, as a, individual that wants to use a currency exchange company. How do you go around it? Like, what are the steps? How do you, tell me, walk us through it.
It's super simple.
Okay.
So at Moneycorp, step 1 is registering for an account. It's a 5-minute online process. It's totally free. There's no catch. You don't have to fund the account. You don't have to maintain a balance to keep it active. Once you have an account, a dedicated currency dealer is assigned. That way you have a go-to contact. You discuss your timeline, your budget, what the rates are doing. You get guidance. The idea is that you're not making decisions about how to move a lot of money on your own. You're making more informed decisions because a currency dealer is hand-holding you along the way, talking about market movements and verbally verifying bank details. I call it a 3-step process. So step 1, secure the exchange rate from dollar-euro. Step 2, fund your Moneycorp account with dollars. It's a local payment, so no international wire fee. And step 3, Moneycorp gets the euro payment to closing. That's it. Exchange, fund, payment out.
Boom.
Boom.
Say up to 10,000 euros in a 500K
That's it.
transfer.
Yes.
Sounds cool.
That's it.
Iva, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I love working with you guys, and I really appreciate that you've personally flown over from the US, from Florida.
It's not a bad place to visit.
That's true. That's
it's
true.
a pleasure to be here, and it's a wonderful energy with your team. It was
Thanks.
fantastic to meet them, so thank you for having me.
Thank you. So for you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, if you have any, well, first of all, if you like this video, press that like button. But second, if you have any questions for us, but most probably for Iva, go ahead and ask those questions in the comment section below so we can get back to you. And like I mentioned earlier, Iva's contact details are going to be in the description of this video, so you guys can reach out to Iva and her team for any questions you might have about transferring, or changing currencies, USD, pounds, whatever it is, to euros. And that's really it. And of course, if you are new to this space and you've never come across our High Homes content before, press that subscribe button if you want to stay posted with everything regarding Spain, Spanish real estate, Spanish lifestyle, news, real estate, and everything that you guys might be interested in. So press that button. And Iva, let's say bye to them. Hasta luego.
Bye bye.